This is the honeycomb bumblebee ball, and this video will show you how to get that honeycomb pattern onto your ball. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to have guides that are going to be my stitching color, and I'm going to have guidelines also that are just going to be in another color that I'm not going to use as stitching lines, but to help divide the ball up so I know where I'm at. So I've divided this into the traditional 8 triangles, but this is all in my these are not guide stitching lines. This is just guides to help me stay on track of where I am with the pattern and spacing. I've placed some pink guides over my original ball so I can show what I'm going to do. This is going to get divided into 8 segments, and you can see how the pinks line up on these. So I'm going to put in 8 slices coming down, like an orange wedge coming down. And so I'm going to go ahead on my ball and I'm going to take and put it in my guide color. Okay, I have my guide color attached at the North Pole, and I'm going to bring that down around to the South Pole and get that anchored. And then I'm going to come around to the North Pole and I'm going to anchor it here, and then I will continue going until I have this divided into 8 segments coming down. Okay, now I have my 8 divisions going around. And now if you look at this one, you'll notice that there's a segment that comes through like this. So this becomes very straight up and down right through here, and then it goes up to a point. So what I'm going to do is in my light guide color, I'm going to put in references for these points in here. Okay, now you can see that I have my center, I have the straight side, and then this will go to the middle and to the middle. So I end up with my hexagon shape. And I'll go ahead and now work in my stitching guidelines. Okay, to give reference, I went from here to here to here, and I'm just going to go halfway and then down to here. And then I'm going to go halfway and down to here. And I'll go around the one side, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So after I establish this zigzag pattern, I'll come back and show you. Okay, I'm coming into my last of the zigzag pattern, and I'm just going to show one of the things I've learned is I just kind of come in and I let halfway and I anchor this, and then I just kind of go back and I find that halfway point and come back up, and that helps to anchor everything. And then in the corners I just come in and do the same thing where I'm going under an anchor, and then I go back to get into that spot and come up. So there I have one side done with the zigzag going the whole way around. Now I have to go and do the zigzag on the other side. Okay, so now I have both sides done, and you can see all the hexagon shapes. And then to do the top ones, what I did was I just roughed it in. So it's going to be a straight up to the point that matches this point, over to the side, and a straight down. And then here I'll go take this, I'll go up, over, straight down, then from this point up, over, and you'll notice these they're marked as guides, but they're really going to be inside. But once you start stitching around all your big hexagons, you'll start to see how this is not a guide stitch. So in the middle of these little ones going up, you will have the wrong color yarn coming down, but you're not going to trim that away. If it is confusing, you could take and trim these out of your big ones because you don't need those anymore. But I would just leave this so that nothing breaks, and just remember not to stitch around that. Okay, so now I'm going to continue adding in the hexagons going up. And remembering this is my bottom point, this is my top point. I have a straight side, so I have to go to here, and I'm trying to line it up with this point. So I kind of go in and try to see the center point between here and there and here, and then pop up back up in that spot, and then go down to here and anchor. And then I need to come back up to that spot. And then this again is my peak. And then I will just continue going around the ball doing peak, side, the straight side, back up to do the peak. Okay, so now I have my honeycomb pattern done, and I've removed the yellow guidelines and that I wasn't going to stitch around anyway, so that it's a little clearer, as there's a little bit still in there, but just to make it clearer what I'm going to stitch around. And then I just have to remember that these, in these top, the smaller honeycombs, those I'm not stitching around. And then I can just jump in and start stitching.